Let me start my speech by sharing a quote. Do you feel better now? I thought I'd run until the sky came out, and when the sunlight on my face, something changed. I'm just trying to feel alive. You climbed the mountain, are you satisfied? You stand at the top, you already want to do this one more time. This is a quote taken from the song Trying to Feel Alive by Porter Robinson. This song perfectly emulates what I felt during my time in APSA. It was difficult for me to find a community at San Diego State, but once I took the first hard step to get out of my comfort zone and find more about APSA, I felt like I had finally found my place. My time in APSA has been such a memorable journey for me through my college career. I consider myself lucky to have made some of the greatest friends along the way and gained valuable experiences through my involvement with APSA. With the fleeting time I have left as an undergraduate, I felt that my time here with this org has satisfied my desires. But as I write this speech, I look back at my most cherished experiences in APSA and feel that there's much more potential in myself and in this org to grow. This is what motivates me to do this just one more time. Hi, my name is Deomano, and I'm running for the Executive Vice President position for the 2023-2024 school year. This current academic year, I was appointed as APSA's Co-Finance Director. I was tasked with the creation and organization of fundraisers, as well as acting as a liaison for local San Diego businesses that partnered with us in the past. Over the course of an academic year, my co-finance partner and I raised the funds necessary to subsidize APSA's major events such as Night Market, M4 Night, KSF, Banquet, and most importantly, the Fashion Talent Show. We were able to uphold APSA's traditional fundraisers such as ice skating, but also innovate the way we raise funding by holding and organizing a Valorant tournament, creating a tiered dare system called Dapper Duo Dares, and revamping the Valentine's Diagram so that it could be highly customizable for the end user. The most profound aspect that I've learned is that my decisions had the most drastic effects within the org, but the product of my actions were not instant. As finance director, all of my actions counted towards goals in the long run as opposed to the short run. Due to these circumstances, I had to operate in a way where every fundraiser had a backup plan just in case things would not go as planned, and I had to plan these events weeks ahead of time. As Executive Vice President, I intend to use my operational expertise stemming from my time in the executive branch as a finance director and approximately 3 years working in the logistics industry in order to identify and resolve problems before they become a systematic issue. The methods I can employ would be to have weekly or bi-weekly meetings with my executive branch, having one-on-ones with individuals within my branch, and acting as a mediator for situations that can often seem like they are stuck. Daily and weekly board duties can often become monotonous, which can lead to poor performance or missed opportunities. The purpose of weekly or bi-weekly meetings is that as a group, the executive branch can come together in a setting that encourages transparent communication and collaboration. The intention of having one-on-one meetings with individuals is that these opportunities give me time to learn more about my branch members on both a professional and personal level. By doing so, I believe that I can utilize their personalities and skills that are most efficient to not only themselves, but also to the entirety of the executive board. The executive board consists of individuals of diverse backgrounds. Thus, there may be situations where we may not all agree. With my interpersonal and negotiating skills, I intend to become a mediator that brings up all pros and cons to the table and find ways to satisfy all parties involved. As Executive Vice President, I find that it is essential for us to find a stable source of funding to support our larger events. I aim to reacquire previous sponsors as well as implement new methods to acquire the money necessary to operate. One method I intend to use is to connect with larger, more established AAPI organizations within the San Diego region. Organizations such as the San Diego API Coalition offer grants of up to $2,500 that we could use to further reach our goals. Having a strong bond with organizations such as the Asian Business Association, Convoy District Partnership, and the Asian Pacific Islander American Public Affairs allows us to continue our mission of empowering AAPI voices as well as give our GBM'ers much more educational opportunities. Another key aspect I intend to implement as Executive Vice President is a conversation of mental health and the available resources we have on campus. Mental health is a very foreign topic that is seldom talked about within the AAPI community. It can be challenging for individuals to know where to begin when seeking mental health resources. I aim to foster a strong relationship with Epiphany of San Diego State. This organization provides resources that focuses on mental health and athletic identity for the AAPI community. Having strong ties with this org will allow APSA to have direct connection with mental health resources and make it much easier for GBM'ers to be referred to the resources they need. My time in APSA just shows a small fraction of my life. It may be weird to say this, but I wasn't always the person that you see today. I wasn't always a keyboard guy. I wasn't always a fashionable guy who wore all black. Most certainly, I wasn't the most sociable either. It has taken me a considerable amount of blood, sweat, and tears to become the person that you see today. I've grown to acknowledge my flaws and work towards improving myself. Although thinking about another year on board sounds daunting, it's a journey along the way that satisfies me the most.
Okay, first question. What are the bylaws of the Executive Vice President, and why is the position an integral part of APSA?
I think the bylaws for Executive Vice President is to support his respective branch, which is the executive branch. And that means, overseeing the daily kind of operation of APSA itself. And could you repeat the question again, please?
What are the bylaws of the Executive Vice President, and why is the position an integral part of APSA?
I think that position is a very integral part of APSA because being just a step below president, I think a lot of people look up to that position in general, whether that be GBM'ers or board members. So being there for basically anyone in the org at any time is I think the reason why I think it's integral to APSA.
Next question. eSquirt acts as a bridge program for GBM'ers through involvement and leadership opportunities. What would you change about eSquirt, and what would you keep the same?
I think in terms of building off of it, while we do have one event for the year, I do feel that we could possibly have another event for fall. So having two events to kind of, what's it called? I guess kind of garner attention for the org, attract more GBM'ers. You said the first part was.
What would you change?
In terms of what I would change, I think, let's see, as it kind of operates how executive board operates, I feel that we should have people who would emulate the same roles in executive board in eSquirt. So maybe have someone do the minutes one day and then switch it off for the next week. I guess having the possibility of learning more about the roles of eBoard, starting with eSquirt. So just, yeah.
Next question. FTS is an event that requires an entire year to prepare, but it's easy to fall behind when other big events require attention. Would you push to discuss it, even if it results in lots of board meetings? How could you resolve this potential issue?
If we do go over when we discuss FTS, I feel as if that there should be time specifically set for FTS, since it's basically like the culmination of what we've kind of worked for in APSA. So I think maybe instead of having FTS bunched in with the rest of what's on the agenda, I feel like having a specific day for FTS would be more beneficial.
Next, at times it can be difficult to balance your own board work and oversee the work of your branch members. Do you believe you know the executive branch roles well? And how would you offer your help to them?
I feel like I've gained a good grasp of all the roles within executive, not because I've done them, but like I've made strong bonds with the people who is in executive. So I feel like having that, like I said in my speech, like having that professional and personal bond with, the members, I think I could kind of gauge like what their strengths and weaknesses are. So if they do need help in one area, I could possibly help, or I could possibly have someone else help them within my branch. But yeah.
Last question. As EVP, you will often work closely with the president. In the event you and the president disagree on an important decision, how would you come to a compromise?
I feel like if there's difficulty reaching a resolution with the president, I feel like it's an issue that should be brought up to board. I mean, since the district assuming that decision is going to affect the entirety of like the org in general, I feel like it's kind of my obligation or kind of obligation to suggest that we should probably bring this up with board instead of just the two of us.
No, I express.